I am going to cut my circle shape out on top of the sandwich bag using the fondant, and it gives it like a really nice curved edge. As you can see, I just want that like roundedness. So I'm also now using my tulip cutter set, and I'm going to use those for the ears. They were the most bunny ear like, and I'm using the sandwich bag method again. Some people like to use the plastic wrap, or like that what is that one that sticks together on its own? I forget what it's called, but yeah, some people like to use that as well. As you see, like I said, you get a nice rounded edge. And I'm just putting the bunny ears on, trying to size them up. So what I'm doing is just double checking the size in this part. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my cookie cutter so I have that nice, perfect edge to line the rabbit ears up on top of the bunny's head. So now I'm trying to get two even sized balls of fondant, and I'm rolling them in really nice circles. And these are going to be like his jowls or his cheeks or whatever, the little whisker parts on the rabbit's face. And I'm just pressing them together and making sure that they look really cute. Now I just rolled out some black and white fondant, and I'm using some tips, some of my piping tips, to cut out the eyes. Here I'm rolling two teeny tiny pieces of white fondant. I just wanted to catch the light in the eye, so that's what I'm doing here. And now I put the eyes on, and I'm just making sure they're all nice and pressed down, and they're all nice and smooth around the edges. Just touching up the ears. And here I'm taking a piece of white fondant, and I wanted my little bunny to have some teeth. I think bunnies with teeth are so cute. So that's what I'm doing here. I made a really small little square, and instead of cutting it in half, I use my little tool and right there, and I'm making the little indentation of two teeth. And then I'm just placing it under the jowls. I just lifted them up a little bit and kind of tucked them in under there. Alright, so now I am making my rabbit's little nose. He's almost finished. I'm putting him on there. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. So here I'm taking my nail filing tool or my nail dotting tool that I use just for fondant, and making some details where his whiskers would go. And now it's time for the fun part. I have two things here. One is a pearl dust and one is a regular shimmer dust, or not shimmer dust, but color dust. What I'm using right now to color his ears is just the regular color dust. I like using the color dust or powdered food coloring because I feel like it's much softer. It's not as harsh and as intense as regular food coloring. Here I'm just using the luster dust, the pink luster dust or the pink pearl dust, and giving him some really cute rosy cheeks. I did touch up his ears just to give it that little shine with the pearl dust, and he is so cute. And we are all done. Mr. Bunny, look how cute he is. Oh my goodness, hopping away. So now we're gonna do cupcake topper number 2. And I'm rolling out some yellow fondant I had left over from that daggone poo cake I had. So I'm doing two different chick cupcake toppers. So one I just cut out as a regular round, and then this one I'm going back to my little sandwich bag method, and just to kind of get that round beveled edge, and I hold them up to show you the difference in the edges. You see how like it's like the one is definitely more rounder. So here I'm using this clover tool. I just got them after St. Patrick's Day, and of course as I'm doing this I'm like, oh, I could have just used a heart cutter, duh. But I was using it to make his little the chick's little wings. And if you don't have a heart cutter but have a clover cutter, of course, or if you need a clover cutter, of course you can just use hearts. So I ended up doing this. I don't know why I did this. It had to be all extra, and I could have just used a heart cutter. But I'm just making his little wings that's gonna go in the front. I'm using my little cutter tool to just put in some indentation just to give it some detail. Alright, so now I am just putting on the chick's little eyeballs and just patting them down, making sure I had already put some water underneath of them and making sure they're in the right place and they're proportionate. So now I'm using my favorite thing in cake decorating is my white food coloring. And I just take my dotting tool and simply just dot the eyeballs. I suck at making faces, but I'm telling you, this dotting tool is a lifesaver. So yeah, this really works well, and I did every single cupcake's eyes like this with the dotting tool. So now I'm making the little chick's beak. I am taking some orange fondant and a rhombus or a diamond shaped plunger that I have. And because I'm making two chicks, I'm just going to cut both beaks out at once. And then I'm taking this tool and I'm just making a line in between the two sides. And then I'm folding it in half because I don't want to cut through it. So I just want to make sure that it's folded and the sides meet, even though they still ended up a little bit crooked, but that's okay. And then I just water the back of it and put it on the little chick. Look, and then I'm just positioning it, opening up the mouth a little bit, just kind of making sure like the beak is okay looking. And then I still didn't attach my wings. I just wanted to make sure they were in the right spot. I wanted to position them better. And so here I'm gonna attach them permanently. And then as I got to working on this, I'm like, okay, the chick is pretty cute, but I kind of want to make this a girly chick. And I was like, I want to give her a little curl of hair. So I just made like a long teardrop shape, and I stuck that on the top of her head, and I thought that was really what kind of made it. And I said, you know what, let's take it a step further. Let's be extra, because I know I just can't stop sometimes. But I'm rolling out some purple-ish color mauve fondant, and I love these plungers because they like already make the indentation. And I decided to put little flowers on the side of her head because I thought it would be so cute. So I have these little itty bitty ones, and yeah, so I just decided to put little flowers in her head. So now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to take some of my sugar pearls And I'm just gonna put one in the bigger flower, and then you'll see me get the little itty bitty pastel colored nonpareils, and I picked and sifted through them. I try to find the biggest ones, and I put a little teeny tiny drop of water in them. I was trying to use my dotting tool to wet it and then pick them up, but it wasn't working. So I had to actually use my fingers, and my big old fingers, and try to get these little itty bitty nonpareils into the middle of the flowers. So I look for the biggest ones. I don't put many in there, but I look for the biggest ones and try to get it, and then put them in to the center of the flowers. And of course, me with my favorite pink pearl dust, I am just giving some really cute little pink, shimmery, pearly pink cheeks, and making the little chick come to life. I think she turned out so cute. I'm just touching up the flowers with some pearl dust as well. Look at her, chirp, 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 chirp. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. All right, so now we're gonna start working on the second one. Now I'm gonna roll out some white fondant, and I left it a little thick. And again, using my little sandwich bag, and I cut it out so I can have a rounded edge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little cutting tool. I love this tool. I'm so glad that I bought this tool. And I am going to make this an egg, like a cracked egg. So I'm just using my tool and cutting out like as if it was just like the egg was just split in half and cracked open. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of making some like extended cracks, just adding a little bit of detail to the egg shell, just kind of making it look, like I said, a little more detailed, like a little bit more like where the egg could crack some more going down. So now I'm going to pull my little piece over, and I'm going to put the eggshell on top of the little egg, or the little chick, I should say. And I'm just trying to place them, and I want them to like curl and like over, so it's still like that rounded look. So I'm putting some water down, making sure the sides and all the yellow's covered, and like the white is covering the yellow, and just making sure that it looks really super cute, and like making sure it's really tacked on there. Like I said, wrapping it all around. And as you notice, it starts to become an oval shape, even though it's two circles, but it becomes an oval shape. And now I'm just going to apply the beak and do the eyes. So now I'm moving on to the actual pearl dust. This is just white pearl dust. And I'm just touching up the eggshell and just giving it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of shimmer and shine. If you wanted to color this like a little Easter egg, that would be so cute with like little dots or something. And then you can cut the egg out, like have it like an Easter chick or something. That would be super cute. I didn't do that, but maybe next time I would. And there is the little chick. He's so cute. Chirp, 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 chirp. All right, now I'm using my bunny butt mold. If you guys remember, I just recently got this at Michael's, and I realized I don't use a lot of my molds on my channel. So I made sure I did it today. I just took some cornstarch, and I'm using my paintbrush to make sure I get in all those little grooves so my fondant does not stick. I took a ball of fondant, and of course you see me, I'm just pushing it in there. I used my rolling pin to smooth it down. You can't see, but I'm squeezing the fondant. That's what I like about these silicone molds, because they're so flexible. And I just was making sure it gets all the little details, and then boop, look at that, pops right out. Look, there's our little bunny butt. And what I'm going to do now is take my pink color dust, not pearl dust, but the color dust. And like I said before, I like using the color dust because it's more softer. And I'm just coloring in the pads of my little bunny's feet. Next time I make him though, or use that to make a little bunny butt, I'm going to roll another ball of fondant to make a little tail. And now he's hopping away. We're going to put that off to the side for later. Moving on to the next cupcake, I'm using a pink background for this one, and I'm just, tapping up and cleaning up the sides, and we're gonna sit that off on the side for now. And I'm gonna take my chocolate fondant, because of course not all bunnies have to be white. They can be brown, light brown, dark brown. I used my little cookie cutter. I actually got that cookie cutter, I think, from a set from the Dollar Tree, like a long time ago. So, and he was kind of the perfect fit, and I liked him with his little ears flopped over. I thought that was super cute. So I'm just gonna do his face just like how I did the white bunny. I'm just sizing up the jowls here, and I'm gonna, except for this one, I didn't do teeth, I just did a mouth. So you'll see as we get to that part. So moving on, I am making another cupcake topper. This is more of a religious one. This is a paper embossing folder. I left my fondant a little thick, as I had showed. And again, I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just making sure that the cornstarch is all over. And this is the thing with this, is like you can choose either to have your images poofy or you can have them indented. So I just literally fold it over and roll it. And I smooth it to make sure that the imprint is in the fondant. And I don't know how well you can see it, but look at that. That is the raised side. That is the indented side. You can choose whatever side you want to use. I chose the raised side. There's the cross I had cut out, and I'm just sizing it up to see where I wanted it, and like where I would want the pattern. So that's why I put the cross there. And now I'm just touching up the sides and moving on. So now I'm taking a green, I'm moving on up. I'm taking a green pearl dust and I'm just lightly coloring in the fondant. Again, it's going to be softer, but it's going to have this really gorgeous sheen sheer to it, and it's really going to make those butterflies pop and like really stand out, and they're not going to get lost like in the fondant. So now I'm taking some of my gold luster dust and I'm spraying it in my little bowl, and I'm using my vodka. I'm just putting a little bit in there, and I want to, because I've decided I wanted a gold cross. So I'm taking that and I'm going to paint my little yellow cross. I'm going to make it gold, and I think it's really going to look really good. So I think two colors personally that go together are green and purple. I don't know why. So I have some different shades of purples and pinks and mauves and mixtures. And I love plungers because you can literally just plunge them right onto the fondant. So that's what I'm doing here. Each plunger is going to be a different color flower. And I'm just going to do 3 little sections, and I'm putting the water right on the bottom and of the flower, and I'm sticking it right on top of the fondant, and it works out so perfect. This is the second one. I'm doing this one in pink, and just like I said, just plunge it right onto the cupcake topper. So convenient, don't have to worry about losing it. You put it right where you want. I'm taking my nail dotting tool and just to put like the little holes and make them curl up a little bit. So cool. I love plungers. Once I was done putting all my flowers on, I saved you guys the hesitation and the pain killing watching me trying to put the little pearls inside the middle of the flowers. But look how pretty that came out. You can still see the butterflies. They're so cute. So I'm taking my cupcakes and I cut holes in them, and I'm like, what I'd like to do is I like to stick my finger down in there and press them down a little bit more just to kind of get like a deeper section. And I have these really, really, really cute sprinkles. I actually got these at Ollie's, I think last year on clearance, and I'm just gonna fill them up with sprinkles. They have like little bunnies, they have little rabbits, and they're all in these really pretty pastel colors. So I'm making like a little surprise inside cupcakes. So I'm sticking them right in the middle. I said, hey, I thought it would be fun. So I really didn't frost these that well. I kind of cheated. I just kind of put it in a sandwich bag and just piped them on. So now I'm putting my cupcake toppers on top of the cupcakes. Oh my gosh, you guys. They're so cute. Look how cute they are. I think they came out so good. Probably wondering where our bunny butt is. Well, we're going to do that one now. So I am taking some shredded coconut and I'm going to be adding some leaf green food coloring into the bag just to color my coconut. Now, really the best way, if you have a massive amount of this to make, put it in a Tupperware bowl and shake it up in a real big Tupperware bowl and shake with all your might. Another thing that I do now, like these just aren't for really anybody. I actually like to fill them up with air and like basically blow into them. And I shook them up and you just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. I also did add, at some point I added some green powdered food coloring just to kind of help it along. And what I like about putting it in a sandwich bag is just, you know, if you just need to make a little bit of it, but also you can like mush it around with your hands and stuff. And like I'm doing here, like you can really break that food coloring up and really spread it and work it together and everything. Okay, once you're happy with the color of your coconut, you're going to take your cupcake. Now, I just frosted this with a spatula. I didn't pipe anything on. And what I just did was I just dunked my cupcake in there and just got the coconut, pressed it on there, made sure it was sticking to all the frosting, and pulled it out. I tried to contain the mess as much as possible. That's one thing with coconut, it can get a little messy. So yeah, so here I'm just trying to make sure it's all patted and sticking to the cupcake. So now I'm taking some buttercream and I am going to add it to my bunny butt so I make sure it sticks to the coconut. And I'm pressing it down like pretty firmly just so I know that it's in there, it's on the cupcake. What I didn't like was the seams around the bunny butt. It like stuck out like a little too much. So what I did was I took my spatula as best as I could and I put some frosting around the edges of it. And now I'm just taking the coconut and patting it around. Another thing you can do is you can add like Oreo crumbs or something to make it look like dirt. My cupcake wasn't that flat. That's something else that you should probably make the cupcake a little bit flatter for this. But here I'm just like filling in some holes. I still wish I put a bunny tail on him, but he's still cute, but I really wish I put a bunny tail. Here I have some flour sprinkles that I have, and I am just putting them on the cupcake. I'm putting them by his little butt, and then I have these really pretty, what are they? Butterfly sprinkles, and I am putting them, they're like bright. I don't even think the video can capture how bright they actually are. They're like almost neon. So I'm putting a little pink one by his foot, and I think I chose the yellow one. I didn't use a green one because the grass is green and I wanted you to be able to see the little butterflies. If you feel like going all out, you can paint the butterflies a little bit more with a paintbrush, but that's all I did, and I think it is super duper cute. And there's all our cupcakes. Wow.